Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? I'm doing good. What's up, bro? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? Good morning. Good morning. Blaze, what's good, man? Boris, what's up? Friend, what's up? Don't do it to me, ES. Tag me in. I'm about to show my charts. Hold on. Just tweeting out the links. Yes, don't leave me. Alright, let me show my charts. Set a breaker. Yes, sir. I'm waiting for this breaker to tag me in. There's a unicorn right here. And this unicorn short. We'll see if I take an L live on stream. Turn the music down a little bit. I'm watching this breaker short right now. Yes. So the analysis. Monthly is bullish order flow. The weekly is failing to offer fair value on both ES and NQ. NQ is very clearly disrespecting that fair value area. So we're looking for it to now seek liquidity. You know, the daily has created SIBIs lower. SIBIs are just bearish fair value gaps. So right now we're really just pointing towards sell side. We have this 1 hour fair value gap here that I was expecting lower prices off of. And so I was just waiting for that change in steady delivery on the 5-minute, that bearish unicorn for me to get short. Now I have my order set. We'll pray that this tags into the breaker and sends it lower. But yeah, I mean, all I do is literally wait for my edge. I wait for my setup. I set the risk, and then I either take a loss or I take a win. And my wins are always 2R. I win a lot more than 34% of the time, and 34% of the time is all that you need to be profitable. So it really is as simple as that. You know, it's just numbers. But it looks like this might run without me the way this candle's closing. If it does, I don't chase it. I don't freak out. I just didn't catch the short. Just didn't retest the breaker. That's tough, but it is what it is, man. It's part of the game. Let me look at the chat. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting tagged into this, boys. We're cooked. That thing is going without us. Why is my... Sorry about that. My audio is on. Yo. We got a good amount of people in here now. What's good, everybody? We're not getting tagged into the short, unfortunately. Tough scene, tough scene. I'm gonna go ahead and pull my order. Man, I was looking for that short. That'd have been nice, man. All right, let me catch up on the let me catch up on the chat. How's your trading, bro, this week? It's a really solid week, man. I haven't taken a loss yet this week with indices. I think I'm up 6R. Really solid week. Yeah, that's a breaker on the 15-minute that's forming. So right here, this is a breaker. And these 3 down close candles become your breaker block. Wait. Wait. Tag me. I shouldn't have pulled my order, bro. 9:30 open. Could this be the manipulation? Let's see if I get cooked live on stream. It didn't tag the breaker. All right, boys. Let's see if I get a -1 hour loss on stream. But I forgot 9:30 open was right now. I'm all over the place. I was reading the chat. Hello, Ezekiel. What's up? Chandra Sakar. Hopefully I pronounced that right. What's up? Hello. Sharo. NQTGIF. Elijah, what's good, bro? What's good? Zeus is here. My guy Zeus. No way it didn't tag me in. Yeah, I forgot 9:30 open was right there. I never should have pulled the order, but I still wouldn't have got tagged in. So it's all good. Sensei, what's good, brother? Man, I appreciate you guys tuning in. We're watching these ES shorts. It's a unicorn setup right here. We have the breaker block overlapping with the fair value gaps. What you want to see is this tag the breaker and then get short. Looks like it's not going to tag me in. Yo, the equities open sent that thing for a second, though. That would have been crazy if it tagged me in. Would you not wait for the FEG to form for this to be a unicorn? It already formed, bro. It's right here. Already formed. But yeah, this thing's gone, man. That's tough. I mean, you guys see me call these moves every day. It's just you take a loss sometimes. You take a win. Sometimes it goes without you. Sometimes you catch it. It's part of the game. There's always another bus. I don't chase. I don't get emotional. I'm not worried about not catching the move. There's literally a trade almost every single day. You need to have that abundance mindset. Right? I don't care if I miss one trade today on a Friday. On June 19th. Right? I don't care. It's one trade of my career. I'm not worried about it. There's literally so many trades. I'm going to keep the order resting in case this wants to retest, but not ideal. I would have liked to have been tagged in previously. 15-minute might be making it for value gap, which can tag us, though. Yeah, it looks like it's setting up a 15-minute unicorn as well. Right here, but it's literally the same setup. This 15-minute 3 down close candles is the breaker, so my order would be there anyway. So I'm just leaving it. But yeah, I definitely see it. $15-minute, yo sensei, check 15-minute. Yep. Josh FX, what's up, brother? Yo Cam, what's good? This thing's going straight to PT, man. Tough. It's tough. Unicorns have been hitting on gold too, bro. The unicorns have just been hitting in general. They just hit. The amount of times they offer 2R is actually scary. You know, there's no reason for me to trade any other stage right now of market maker models, because these are just consistently offering 2R. And it's like, as long as I catch my piece, I don't really care. I don't need to trade every stage. I am strongly starting to feel like less is more in all aspects. And the better I get at trading, it's like the more I've simplified things, the more I've realized less is more. So can I trade every stage of market maker models in the direction of the draw? I could trade the low risk stage. I could trade stage 1 and stage 2. Can I do that? Absolutely. Do I want to? I don't necessarily think that I want to. I think less is more. If I can catch my piece off of just strictly the low risk stage and unicorns, then why not do that? Anderson, what's up, bro? What's up? Change in state of delivery, CISD. Yeah. I don't know if you're asking if it's a change in state of delivery or if you're telling me, but yeah. Gonna wait myself. Damn, so close. Yeah. We'll see what happens. I mean, let me look at the 15-minute. My stop could slightly cover the 15-minute breaker if I want to risk a little bit more. Like right there. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. The 15-minute fair value gap's forming in 10 minutes. We already have the 5-minute unicorn though, so I'm not really worried about it. It's already valid for me once we create that 5-minute unicorn. So might not get tagged in, but it is what it is. Blue balls once more. Yo, blue balls is the worst, man. What it is, what it is. Like I said, it's part of the game. You guys got to understand that the unprofitable traders will let this type of stuff affect them. It will induce them to take more trades. It will induce them to chase. It will induce them to put on more risk. And that's all psychology. That's all emotions. That's all, just your mental. The profitable traders will not worry when price moves without them. It's an abundance mindset. There's always another trade. And once you get to know your model, once you get to know your edge and you understand the numbers, you literally just wait. Once it presents itself, you say, okay, my setup is here. Take the setup, set the risk, let the thing go. I haven't been micromanaging anything. I literally let it stop me out or hit 2R, and it's been a game changer. Gold. Everyone's talking about gold. Fixo, what's good, Fixo? He said, yeah, it's gone. As family, bro, my family's great. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed to have my family in good health, have my dad in good health, my mom in good health. Very blessed in that sense. Just blessed in general. Blessed to be able to pursue this every single day. Blessed to be able to wake up and do something that I love. It doesn't feel like work when I do this stuff. It feels like I'm just doing something I enjoy. It feels like a hobby. So just blessed in all aspects. I'll never take, God's blessings for granted, man. Very, very blessed. When you sent the limit, the fair value gap was still for me though. Not on the 5-minute. On the 15-minute, yeah. For me, it's valid on the 5-minute. Once I get a unicorn, on the 5-minute, very valid to trade that off of a 1-hour PD array. Camp Pizzo baby, back at it with another video. Let's go. Elijah's the OG. Yo, that's crazy that you saw my old videos, Elijah. I told them about that a little bit in the past. What's up, everyone from London? I hope you're all having a good trading day. What's up, Craig, man? Appreciate you tuning in. Fran, what's the new Solus model? So I don't want to teach the whole Solus model on the YouTube. I'm going to save it for the premium members, for the students that tune into the Discord. But Solus is just my indices model. Solus is the model that I'm trading on ESNIQ. Sir Pickle in the cut, man. What's good, brother? What's up, brother? Yo, look who's here. What's good, Sir Pickle? Sir Pickle, ES has been going crazy recently. Yes, sir. Indices have been hitting lately, man. And this is the thing. When something is hitting, if you guys are trading a filtering process, if something is expanding, if something is hitting, you need to milk it. You need to prioritize it. You need to only trade that. There's no reason to focus on other things. Like if you're filtering through a lot of pairs and gold is moving, just focus on gold and milk gold every single day. Like it doesn't need to be more difficult than that. Let's see if we get tagged in, take an L here or what. It's either -1R or +2R. We're tagged in. See if this just expands and cooks us, or if this 15-minute breaker holds, which is what we want to see. So my stop is covering this 15-minute breaker. If this truly wants to continue lower, we should see this create this 15-minute fair value gap here and respect this breaker ideally. If it doesn't, not ideal, might be a loss. So we'll have to see what happens. But again, -1R or +2R every single time, rinse and repeat. Win more than 34% of the time and you'll make money. Yeah, it does not look like it's going to create that gap. Not ideal, but we'll see if the breaker still holds. No, that shit's crazy how we met, bro. I remember the day you texted me. I was tripping. Yeah, I remember I found your Instagram, bro. The first time I saw your stuff, Elijah, was on Instagram. This will be a quick L if that's what happens. Yeah. This breaker is not holding. No bueno, boys. No bueno. Yeah, this is looking like an L. There has not. You want to see a reaction off that breaker initially. The best trades are going to fly off those breakers. So we'll see. I smashed it this week. NQ and gold. Nice, brother. I love that. This week has been really good. I'm 6R, +6R this week. Potentially +5R here. -1R. Definitely not looking good. But I only trade from 10 to 11. I just wait for the first 30 minutes. And we're stopped. That was a quick loss, bro. So we're +5R on the week. On to the next. I actually didn't cover the entire breaker, but it would have been... Oh, yeah, I did. All right, boom. Well, -1R. On to the next. OG days, brother. I'm lucky glad I deleted my IG. I went completely ghost. Only have Twitter now. Yeah, bro. Honestly, if I wasn't doing the social media stuff, I would do the same. This is interesting that this went higher here. I really was not expecting that. NQ may want to test the 4-hour or the daily SIBI up here. I was expecting lower. Here, I'll show you guys what I was seeing here. So I'm expecting, or I was expecting, lower prices from this bearish fair value gap on ES and NQ. I'm gonna actually throw this in my journal though. Bro, you guys gotta understand, I'm still journaling every single day. Every single trade I journal. So I don't know. If you're not journaling, I don't know what you're doing. Like, you're just cheating yourself. You're just making yourself, you're preventing yourself from growing. You're preventing yourself from learning. You're literally just cheating yourself. But every single trade win or loss is getting journaled by me. I have TradeZella for the data, and then I have Notion for the what's it called? Like emotions for the details. I think you forgot about the TGIF. I'm not too worried about the weekly candle here. I still think that could have expanded lower. But yeah, the close of this candle might be a retracement. That's fair. There's also no news today, but it is what it is. I'm taking the setups when they're there. I'm not really worried about little factors like that. If I feel like the draw is lower, of a higher time frame PD array, and then I have the entry model, then I'm taking it. My rule is 1 loss per day, 2 losses per week. So we're ending the week up +5R. Really solid week. I cannot complain, right? I don't care that we take 1 loss. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried if we go on a losing streak. For those of you that were in my Discord, I was on a losing streak trading forex just a couple months ago, and then I was on a winning streak. This trade actually just ended the winning streak, but again, it's just random distribution of wins and losses, random winning streaks, random losing streaks, and the numbers just do their thing. I'm gonna screenshot this and start throwing this in the journal. So give me a second. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, this looked good for lower. I'll take that every time. There's no buy side imbalance here either to send this higher. So I mean, there really wasn't a lot of red flags here. This order block formed as well. Yeah, man. If it just runs those highs and it's a stop hunt, then it is what it is. You know, that's part of the game. But yeah. All right, let me journal this. Nobody is too good for journaling. If your mentor doesn't journal, I don't know what to tell you. It's very suspect to me. You learn so much about yourself from journaling. So you have the daily. Sorry, this is the hourly SIBI. This is our PD array that I was looking for price to push lower. Screenshot that. Looking for lower prices towards the sell side. We'll see if this candle, how this candle closes. It's interesting on ES, but NQ very clearly looks like it wants the sell side. We have daily SIBIs lower. Yeah, it looks like it's a nasty stop hunt. That's tough. Where do you journal? I journal in Notion and TradeZilla. So I use both. It became liquidity for the real move. For real, we just got manipulated. There's nothing you could do about that, man. I wanted to see that breaker hold. The wicks did the damage here. $15-minute breaker didn't even hold. Yeah, it is what it is. It's part of the game, man. Do you have a trade journal template for us? Maybe. Yeah, I have one in the Discord. Hop in the free Discord. There's one in the resources section of my free Discord. Yeah, I'll send the link right here. That mental trade we ended up taking the other day on the live ended up hitting 2R, by the way. I got off stream, but as a winner. I forgot to talk about that. All right, cool. Yeah, it's in the Discord, in the resources section. All right, do you guys want me to look at some forex or what? Because my rule is 1 loss per day. So I'm done already. Yeah, it's just tough manipulation, bro. Yeah. I'm gonna get rid of this. Wait. What did I just do? Journal this. Is there 2 there? Yeah. Shoot. So this is what we had seen at the time. We just got manipulated like shit, man. Usually hasn't been an issue. Short. Where was my stop? I covered the 15-minute breaker. It was right here. This was the trade. I'm just screenshotting this for my journal. Very valid setup. Target 2R. Either get stopped -1R or you get plus 2R win. Rinse and repeat. All right, I got that for my journal. Let's look at some forex. I really haven't been looking at forex much. Which one time frame the best for scalping? A lot of people swear by the 1 minute. I personally don't think you need more than the 5-minute. I think the 5-minute is the best blend of everything you could ever want. I guess if you're scalping, like really scalping, I'm talking like sub less than 5 points, then definitely the 1-minute. But if you're trying to hit like intraday 10-point, 15-point trades, 5-minute for sure is the most beautiful time frame. The 5-minute is my favorite entry time frame. It's clear, it's not misleading. You very rarely get induced. So you give it another chance. So on my evaluation accounts, if I'm trading evaluations, I will trade multiple times per day. But on my funded accounts, on a live account, on a funded account or a live personal account, I'm only taking 1 loss per day. And that rule is really just in there, put in place to prevent any form of overtrading, any form of emotional, tilting after a loss. Once I take 1 loss, I'm done for the day. If I take a win on my first trade, I'll continue to trade if there's another setup. But yeah, that rule just really helps make sure that you don't ever have any form of emotions. I mean, I really don't have any issues with emotions anyway, but it's nice to have in place. So if I'm on an eval, yeah, I'll take another. But on fundeds or on my live account, I will not take another trade. Can you check pound yen? Can you check pound yen? Is it a valid unicorn daily in 1 hour? Pound yen, we have monthly bullish order flow. Monthly candle is really sloppy. Don't like this candle. Weekly pulling back into this bullish for value gap. So if you see the 4-hour shift, stated delivery bullish here, could be nice signal for longs. 4-hour market maker buy model towards that, external up there. As of right now, this isn't showing much intention. I want to see new for value gaps higher. Did you say 1 hour? Daily in 1 hour? Are you looking at lower or higher? Because I can see both if you're trading counter trend, but I think this goes higher ultimately. Okay, yeah, you're looking at a short. Yeah, this is a unicorn, but you're kind of trading counter trend to what I'm seeing on the higher time frame. But yeah, that's valid. Your entry would be at the breaker. So if I was trading this and I was looking at it right here, my entry would have been right there, and I would have like just covered this breaker, and it would have been so close to taking you out, but you'd still be in. If we don't respect the breaker and fair value gap overlapping, then you're just taking a loss. So you can just cover the breaker. That's how I would approach it if you want to give it a little more room. But again, I don't necessarily see the short idea here. I think that the 4-hour can potentially shift bullish here and head higher because we have the weekly internal to external move. So I don't necessarily believe that this daily SIBI sends it way lower. It can if we decide we don't want to shift from the weekly gap and we want to go lower on the weekly, but right now I feel like it can. So I would be hesitant here to short that. And it's just chopping. Yeah, trapped order flow. So you're only journaling the trade you take, not the whole market every day? Nah, I don't do the whole session. I don't need to do that personally. I just journal my trades. I journal every single trade that I take. I review every trade that I take. I review my data at the end of every week and every month. The resources doesn't show any trade template, or am I just blind? Let me see. Did it get deleted? I think I deleted it. Shoot. All right, wait, hold on. I'll send you the link. I think I actually deleted it. You're right. You're not blind. You are definitely not blind. What's your Discord message? Send a message in the main chat right now. I will send you the link. I think I deleted it from the resources. Go ahead and tag me in main chat. And then I'll send you the link. Bro, do you always enter after CISD, unicorn breaker, or ever on SC? For indices, I'm just trading unicorns. So I need to see a fair value gap that overlaps with the breaker. But, you know, that is a change in state of delivery. Dixie bulls, bullish. Let me see. Monthly chop. They took previous month low. Bro, Dixie's been trolling. Like, Dixie has actually been trolling. It's kind of annoying. It looks like we're setting up this weekly gap to potentially head lower off of. I mean, that's what I'm seeing. In 9 hours, I could see Dixie wanting to head lower off of that. So yeah, I would say it is bullish right now towards that. We didn't end up creating that gap here. Yeah, this looks like it wants to retest the weekly. That's what I'm seeing on dollar. But dollar's been trolling. This monthly chop. Wait till we get one-sided dollar. Wait till we get this type of dollar. It's going to be nice. Right now, this is just... yeah. But yeah, I'm bullish. This candle should retest the way it's looking right now. For sure, for sure. Indices are also trolling. Really sloppy. Just sloppy delivery right now. So why would I force something in this? Look at the price action on the indices. This is a great learning lesson. Also, like I said, I just have rules in place where if I take a loss, I'm done for the day. But why would I even want to take another trade on this? You know, there's no reason for me to want to trade this right now. We're not showing any signs to actually want to deliver lower. We're not showing any fair value gaps, any clear intention to want to head in one direction. We're just sloppy, you know, wicks, consolidation, choppiness. There's no reason to want to put another trade on this. ES is a little bit better, but still not ideal. The setup on ES looked way better, right? Look at ES right here. This looks clean. I mean, I would take that again at this time. At this time, that looks very, very nice. Now, as we get more price action, this does not look nice. There's just nothing for me to do here. We move on to the next trade. Simple as that. Sent in the main chat. Let me send you that. There's the link. I got you. I got you. Daily streaming like this will improve your channel analytics, but you need more attractive thumbnails and captions. Yeah, for the streams, I have a template where I just take the stream. Like, I just have a template for the stream thumbnails, but definitely for the long form videos. Definitely. Why did you name the model Solus? I just thought it sounded cool. That's the truth. Like, there's nothing for me to say. Solus is like, pretty sure it's Latin for like being alone, like solitude. By oneself, alone. Word origin from Latin, solus. Alone, soul, only, by oneself. So to me, it's just kind of like, when I was thinking of the name, I thought it sounded cool. It's like you're alone, you're with yourself. And that's what trading is. Trading is, there's no one, you might have trading friends, but really this journey is by yourself. You know, trading, becoming profitable is going to make you create such a deep relationship with yourself. You have to spend so much time in solitude. You know, I literally didn't talk to people for years. I didn't have a social life for years. So to me, that's just why I named it Solus. It's like solitude in the charts, just you in the charts by yourself. I just thought it sounded cool. Like, that's it. That's really it. Wait for another leg showing that the daily is not holding in the wait for another leg up showing that the daily is not holding. I don't know which pair we're talking about. I forget. What's your view on gold? Gold swept this monthly buy side, and we were expecting potentially a pullback from there. This is a strong monthly premium array. So now the internal to external has been completed. Definitely looking bearish. Daily gaps lower. We have this overlapping area here. I do think that this ultimately can continue lower now that we swept that premium array. Just want to read the daily 4-hour gaps. But yeah, I mean, there's not much to do here. I'd be waiting for like daily context lower to potentially target even lower. Now that we swept this monthly buy side, the sell model looks really nice. Crude oil. Crude oil is just chopping, man. This is not something you want to get involved with. If you see this, just skip it. So all right, this is a good lesson right here. Just because we have internal to external, just because we have this daily gap here, does not mean you want to take these longs. Look what the previous price action is showing you. We're just in a consolidation. We're not showing willingness to want to expand here. So just because we have some context, just because we have a gap here on the daily to potentially head higher off of, doesn't mean that that's high probability. You know, this is not high probability context, internal to external. You want to see one-sided price action. You want to see price actually showing a willingness to head one way. Copper, interesting. Copper's not heading higher off that. This monthly for value area may continue lower, probably creating weekly and daily gaps. Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, sloppy delivery on indices today. There's no news. Just sitting out the rest of the day. I'll take my loss to the chin. Move on to the next week. Plus 5R on the week. I cannot be upset, right? It's a really solid week. Cannot be upset. Ain't that the dude from Hell of a Boss? I have no idea what that is, bro. Y'all look it up. I have no idea what Hell of a Boss is. Stolas? What is Stolas? Yo. I have no idea what Hell of a Boss is, but Stolas sounds pretty similar. That guy's an owl, bro. His random ass. I sent that a while ago about GJ. I got you. For me, I watched the 6 a.m. candle on the 4-hour to be manipulation, which is the 9-hour 1 candle. Been trading since 2017, and I was struggling to become profitable. Then I found ICT, and things are looking good. Just feel like I need a mentor to help me for a short time, one-on-one. Gladly help you, brother. Shoot me a message on Discord. I'll gladly be able to mentor you if that's something that you're interested in. No, bro. CL is in weekly for value gap. Traded. This is the draw that we had going into the week lower, but right now I don't see it in a weekly for value gap. I'm not seeing that. Right now we have a daily gap after this consolidation, just overall low probability price action. So yeah, I don't know what you're trying to say, or I don't see that we're in a weekly for value gap. At least crude oil futures, I'm not seeing that. I don't know what US oil looks like. If you're looking at the CFD, maybe the CFD is. The CFD is traded into it. Oh no, it didn't. No, the CFD isn't in the weekly gap either. So yeah, I don't know. USD CAD looks like it's gonna dump. Monthly's gross, weekly gross, consolidation. Daily. This is just, I'm not a fan of this from the top down. It just doesn't look good to me. I don't know, man. Just don't see anything here that I would want to get involved in. Yeah, I think Dixie wants to test this level going into next week. Essentially head lower. It looks like we're just setting up for that weekly gap. Australian dollar. Interesting. Sloppy indices. Sloppy indices. I am not interested in anything that indices are offering right now. We talked about pickle trade, the ERO to IRO on Discord. One question: that type of trade is based on price doing two things, so you only trade it if after price fails to respect the IRO. It is counter trend. That would be counter trend trading. With my Solus model, I'll trade counter trend. I'll trade in the direction of opposing liquidity. So if we fail to offer fair value successfully, I'll trade in the other direction. But yes, you're correct. If you fail to offer fair value, aka if internal fails, you're trading counter trend. Obviously, it depends on the state of order flow, but you're trading counter trend in the direction of the opposing liquidity. Because if we fail to head higher off that fair value area, you're saying, all right, price is now seeking the opposing liquidity. So NQ is a good example of that. This week we've been shorting NQ, right? In previous weeks we've been very bullish on NQ. We've been taking longs almost every day. You know, and the longs have been smacking. We hit a short this week. NQ at the time was closing well below this weekly gap, disrespecting it, failing to offer fair value and head higher. If this was truly strong, if indices wanted to head higher right now and continue with strength, it would have expanded off that weekly gap. ES would have got in line and done the same thing, likely created SMT. Like ES likely wouldn't have even traded into this gap because it would have been so strong, and indices would have headed higher off that area of fair value. But because we fail to offer fair value, we create these gaps lower, daily SIBI, 4-hour SIBIs. We can just see that as a compass. We understand that it's failing to offer fair value on this weekly, so we're looking for it to target this opposing liquidity. So this would have been the first draw, this sell side down here, this candle low, and then this would be the next draw, assuming that we continue lower. Daily SIBI up here, weekly expansion candle lower. We need to be mindful of the higher time frames, right? So the monthly still bullish order flow. We want to submit to the higher time frame trends. The weekly still bullish order flow, but everything from the daily 4-hour down is very bearish. So we're keeping everything in context of each other. We're understanding, you know, everything that price is trying to do. This is just sloppy on the 4-hour. We're not showing intention to want to head lower. Not showing intention to want to head lower, just sloppy right now, which is fine. But I definitely will not be putting on another trade. You know, we'll go into next week with a fresh slate. Solid week, plus 5R. Cannot be upset. AUD NZD. Is it possible to tell how many trades you took this month and this week and what results you got? Yeah, I have my Notion. I'm going to make a public link to my Notion where I'm just documenting all the data. But I also am, you know, using a verified broker. I have a live account. So I'm going to be building a track record with the Solus trading plan through the broker, through Tradeovate. So then I'll actually have, you know, live data on a live account with real funds. So people can't question me and say, oh, you only do this with prop, oh, you only do it on demo, whatever, right? I'm doing it with live funds on a Tradeovate account. But the Solus trading plan is just something I started trading recently. So I need to collect the data. I need to take the trades, right? I can't just magically have 100 trades. I have to wait for the trades to present themselves. I have to take the trades. So I'm still building the Solus like track record and whatnot. But yeah, so when a lot of people are asking me what's the win rate on Solus, you know, what's the numbers on Solus, and I can't decisively say. It would be misleading for me to say, oh, the Solus win rate is 80% or 90%. Like I've taken like 10 trades on it. I've only lost 2, I think. So I'm 8 for 10. But for me to just say, oh, Solus has an 80% win rate, it's just misleading, bro. That's me just being that would be me being almost manipulative, because people that understand trading know that 10 trades is not a sample size. That's a super small sample size. For me to say my win rate is X based on 10 trades is just misleading. So once I have 100 trades, once I have all that, I'll be able to share that with everyone. I'll be able to say, oh, decisively, this is the win rate, this is the R. Well, the R is always going to be 2, but yeah, so plus 5R. Yeah, bro, it was a good week. There's going to be bad weeks. There's going to be weeks when I take straight L's. There's going to be winning streaks, losing streaks, break even months. You know what I'm saying? It's part of the game. AUD, NZD. Yeah, this is there's not much to do for me today. AUD, NZD. This order block on the monthly becomes the area of fair value. If we ever were to retrace into that and you want to see higher prices, you would want to see it do so off of that area. Right now we're just expanding, potentially creating this weekly gap right here. Would want to see this, if it does retest this, head higher from here. This is our area of fair value. So we've offered sell side, we've offered buy side. So now all of this has been, you know, successfully offered fair value, right? So we would want to see price, if it wants to head higher from here. Daily chop. Yeah, it looks like it's just setting up potentially a retest of this weekly gap. So on AUD NZD, I would just be, you know, waiting, sitting on hands, waiting for more, waiting for that weekly candle to close. You know, I wouldn't be expecting AUD NZD to make some crazy run today. It's just likely consolidating to end the week. Essentially retest. What is Solus? Solus is my personal indices trading plan. But I'm not gonna go into full detail on it. I kind of want to save that for the students, for the people that are gonna be in the premium Discord and whatnot. But that's my personal indices model that I'll be teaching, and it's been hitting, man. It's really been hitting. I love it. I love forex. For those of you that follow me, I've been trading forex and indices, but man, ever since I started trading Solus, I'm enjoying just trading ES and NQ a lot. It's been really nice. It's been really, really nice. This price action is gross, man. The people that are emotional, the people that, you know, haven't spent time with the charts, are going to put on another trade here at the newest, you know, gap lower. But just zoom out, understand that this is very low probability, unfavorable price action. So we just got chopped up today. That's all it was. At the time, this was looking very promising to head lower. I mean, look at that. Beautiful at the time. Get more price action. Now we can see that this is very unfavorable. We're just consolidating. And an AUD long swing from the first 4-hour fair value gap. Let me see. So you're in this where's your stop loss? The only issue I see with that is if we do end up wanting to retest this gap, you're gonna get cooked, brother. So you're basically preying on this weekly breakaway gap, something I personally don't like to do. But again, I'm not trying to knock the trade, just being, you know, I don't sugarcoat it, right? I'm giving you my honest thoughts. If you share the trade, I'm gonna give you my thoughts. So see the 4 hour shifting bullish here. But you got to keep that weekly in mind. We'll see how this candle closes. If it closes low, may want to retest that gap and pull back towards this weekly fair value gap. So yeah, I don't know. It could go either way. Basically preying on that weekly being a breakaway gap. Do you use that model on forex too? I do not. I use the swing trading model. It's very, very similar. You know, the way that I view price is all the same. There's just different fundamental like structure to what I'm doing. Time becomes much more important on Solus. The entries and whatnot are very different, but the forex model is just swinging. I don't worry about time. I just swing the 4 hour and 1 hour entries in the direction of the draw off monthly, weekly, and daily PD raise. How important is premium and discount? So I think it's useful. I think that if you like it, use it. But I also think if you don't like it, you don't necessarily need it. So there are going to be times like here. This is a great example on AUD and ZD. This is actually this is sauce right here. I'm actually about to give some sauce. This range, right? A lot of people that are new to trading, new to ICT, using discount and premium, they're going to mark this range like this. Discount to premium, the most recent leg, right? The dealing range. And they'll be waiting for a pullback all the way into this discount to head higher. But the reality here is price has already offered sell side here. So we've created imbalances in sell side here. Then we've offered buy side here. So at this point, this all becomes fair value. So if this is going to head higher, you want to see it do so from here. This becomes our area of fair value. This becomes where, you know, price should want to respect if we're going to continue higher. So sitting around waiting for discount here wouldn't make any sense. The fair value is here. This is where price would want to refer to head higher if it's going to do so. So waiting for this to pull back into discount is actually unfavorable. I think if we pull back deep into this discount, we're actually heading lower and targeting sell side. So discount and premium can be useful, but you need to understand fair value. You need to understand where price needs to retrace to and where it doesn't. So if you want to use discount premium and use it and demand it, you just need to understand that there are going to be times when price only needs to offer fair value here, and then it's not going to offer discount. So you don't necessarily need discount and premium, but if you like it, you can use it. I go back and forth. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. But ultimately I don't need it. But it's nice to see. You know, you always want to be shorting in premiums and longing in discounts. Fundamental, you know, ICT. So if we look, discount premium in this range, right? You want to short in a premium in this range. And this makes sense because right here is fair value. So once we create this imbalance of sell side, we create this displacement lower, and we take this range. This area here is fair value. This is where price should want to head lower from if it wants to continue lower. So using discount premium of this range makes sense. But again, I don't need to mark the range to see that. I don't need to even mark the discount premium to understand that. If price is going to head lower, it should do so from this gap or this overlapping area here. But again, we need to understand everything from the top down. You know, you need to understand what the 4 hours trying to do, what the daily is trying to do, etc., etc. So to me, this looks like it's potentially setting up to trade off of this weekly gap. If it doesn't, then we create a breakaway gap and we're just going to expand. Those are the two scenarios here. But yeah, that was some sauce. Hopefully that helps anyone that is struggling with fair value. All fair value is If price creates imbalances lower, we've only offered one side of the market here. We've only offered sell side. Sellers have all just pushed this price lower, right? Whatever you want to call it, however you see it. So price is going to want to retrace to this imbalance. Let buyers get involved, offer fair value before continuing lower. So internal to external is just fair value to liquidity. External to internal is just liquidity to fair value. Price is only ever doing two things. It's either seeking liquidity or it's offering fair value. So let's look at NQ again, the example I gave earlier. Once I saw that we were strongly disrespecting this weekly gap and closing below this fair value gap, that's why it's called the fair value gap. Price wants to offer fair value at it because it's an imbalance of buy side. So a BISI is a buy side imbalance, a sell side inefficiency. So price wants to offer sell side. It wants to offer fair value. So because we fail to head higher off of this, right? I already talked about this earlier. If we wanted to head higher, if we were strong on indices, we would do so from this gap. Because we failed to do that, strong disrespect daily 4-hour civvies pointing in the direction lower, disrespecting this fair value area, we target opposing liquidity. So this would have been the first draw. So I was looking at shorts the other day from this 4-hour gap. I didn't end up taking the trade because it wasn't that clean on the lower time frames, but it actually did end up being a winner. I was watching this. Where was what time was it? Thursday. Yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah, it was this huge move lower right here. So we have the strong move lower. This is a huge stop as well. I think it was something like this, but again, I didn't take this. It felt like a huge ask at the time. This is a huge stop. I don't like to take huge trades like this. Usually I like to take things that are more feasible, low-hanging fruit. So I didn't take this, but beautiful. It felt like a huge ask at the time though, so that's why I didn't take it. And I wanted to get in on the 5-minute. That's what I really wanted. But anyways, yeah, I didn't catch that, but it was nice. All based on the weekly, based on understanding that the weekly is failing to offer fair value, so it should now seek this opposing liquidity. That's all it is. So we have a higher time frame draw. We understand where the higher time frame is going. We pair that with a PD array in the direction of that draw and liquidity, and then we wait for our entry model. Can you use Replicano to copy trade funded accounts? Yes, absolutely. For sure. Replicano, fundeds, evaluations, personal accounts. If you have a Tradeovate, I have a Tradeovate personal account with like my own money. You can use that on the copier as well. So Replicano, it's Tradeovate and Rhythmic. So you can have one Rhythmic connection on the Replicano, and then you can have unlimited Tradeovate accounts. So what I have is a Top Step. If you want everything on the copier, at once, you want Top Step Rhythmic as the connection, and then everything else Tradeovate. So you want MFFU, the Trading View Tradeovate accounts. You want Apex to be the Trading View Tradeovate accounts, and then everything else is Tradeovate. Buy now? I don't know what you're saying, bro. What do you think about the long on Euro NZD? Also, I forgot to mention, new video coming very soon, man. I'm waiting on the editor. I'm waiting to get this video out. Excited to post it though. It'll be about order flow shifts, understanding entries, mastering entries and order flow shifts, change in state of delivery, market structure shift, ST, understanding shifts in order flow from the higher time frame PD race. Euro NZD failure swing at that low. That's crazy. We failed to offer fair value here and head lower. You're looking at this buy side liquidity as the draw. Weekly breakaway gap here. Daily. That was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful delivery here. Beautiful. That daily internal to external move was actually beautiful. Oops. The IO Fed just stung right into it, to the pip. Yeah, this should go higher. I'd be looking for this. Again, look. This is what I mean about fair value. This area here acted as fair value. Whoops, what just happened? There's no reason. Okay, conveniently that's discount. Equilibrium to the tick. I mean, look at that. That's actually beautiful. I'm sorry. This is so beautiful. Dude, this price action is so nice on Euro NZD. What I was going to say is if this was the fair value area and discount was down here, you don't want to be waiting for a discount here because the fair value area is right here. This is where price should head higher off of. This is what should now act as fair value. Conveniently, equilibrium, discount to the pip. It's just beautiful, beautiful delivery. Love that. That's literally like poetry. But I don't know what long you're talking about, honestly. Are you talking about from the daily gap? From here to there? Because if I was going to be taking longs on this, it would have been off this daily gap. And then I would have dropped into the 1 hour. So longs would have been from this internal to this buy side high, this external. If I was taking this on my swing trading plan, take the daily, you take the 1 hour ST in the direction of the daily. Boom. Stop below the protected low. Target 2 hour within the context. That's the only long that I see valid on this. Because this is where the context is. That was beautiful, beautiful long. This actually looks really good. The delivery was great too. People that rushed to break even would have just got slammed. This is why I do set it and forget it. Beautiful delivery. Monthly failed to offer fair value, so now we seek liquidity. That's all what it's all based on, where the monthly is drawn. Just a little breakdown of your NZD for you guys there. No free sauce. That delivery is beautiful though. Again. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's actually like poetry. Actually, at the time, I marked that wrong. At the time, I was correct. This is what I was trying to portray earlier, what I was trying to say, right? For the people that demand discount, they may be waiting for this discount gap, this discount order block right here, right? To head higher off of. But this is what acts as fair value. This area here acts as fair value for price. So there's no reason for us to need to offer discount here. So this is where discount and premium can get you caught up. You just need to understand what acts as fair value for price. So we've offered buy side, we offer sell side. Now we've offered both sides of the market fairly. So all of this here becomes fair value. Trade back into it. If we want to continue higher, that is where we should head higher from. Just understanding, you know, buyers and sellers getting involved in the market, fair value. So discount and premium, if you don't like to use it, you don't need to use it. You keep it very, very simple. The Euro futures haven't come into any daily or weekly for value gap to drive the Euro futures higher. So isn't this Euro NZD long now? Long, low probability. Sorry, it's hard to read that. So you want to see a bullish, you want to see a bullish Euro and a weak New Zealand dollar. if you're gonna long this. I'm just talking about the actual order flow on Euro NZD. I'm talking about the price action, the way that it's delivered, you know, how it's been moving has been beautiful. Euro took this huge weekly buy side liquidity, monthly buy side here. So after this, I would be reassessing. You know, this is where I would have expected a pullback. You know, this is where you want to be gauging price when we sweep these major premium arrays, these major discount arrays on the monthly. So I was just mainly referring to the actual order flow, the actual candlesticks on Euro NZD, not necessarily the individual currencies and where they're at. Oh, there go the indices. Some chop and then they fly. Draw on liquidity is correct. We just got chopped up there. Kind of sloppy delivery today. Our idea here was this, right? This is our there's something like this, and we got wicked out. That's all it is. Part of the game. Beautiful delivery lower. Again, all based on understanding where the higher time frame should go. Understanding the higher time frame, draw on liquidity. That's all it is. Bro, CAD yen, CAD yen, CAD yen. Monthly bullish order flow. Weekly fair value area, I'd argue, is this. So if CAD yen wanted to head higher right now, you would have wanted to see it do so from here. It's not favorable that it's dug this deep, creating daily SIBIs lower. I see the short idea here. I do see the short idea here. I'm starting to see it. Kind of sloppy. No gap here, lower. But I think this goes lower. It's our breaker swing point. I'd be looking for lower on this. The monthly is the monthly is bullish, but the weekly, the daily to me are saying that this wants sell side. That this wants to target liquidity lower. 4-hour chop is gross though. But yeah, that's my analysis of CAD yen right now. Top down analysis on Euro USD. So on the monthly, we're just consolidating. Really sloppy monthly delivery all around. We just swept this previous month's high, major buy side liquidity. So once we had taken this draw on liquidity, once we had swept this liquidity, that is where I would have expected this type of retracement. I say this every single time on the lives. I always say this. You guys know that this is very important. When we take a major premium array on the monthly or daily, weekly, when we take a major liquidity pool, you want to gauge how price reacts from those areas. Do the lower time frame shift? Do they respect it? So what I'm seeing is we're sweeping that monthly buy side, creating this weekly gap. Now, there are two scenarios. We either head higher off this weekly gap, continue with strong euro through that buy side, or we fail to offer this fair value and dig deeper. So how do you gauge that? How do you understand if we're heading higher off this weekly gap that we're setting up, or if we're going lower? By looking at the 4-hour, by understanding the lower time frames. If we trade into this weekly gap next week and the 4-hour shifts bullish, you know that euro is long, so you want to be long in euro. So we have the monthly buy side sweep, the weekly setting up a weekly gap to potentially head higher off of. And so you want to gauge the 4-hour once we trade into these levels. Does the 4-hour shift bullish and want to continue higher? Or do we fail to offer this fair value on the weekly? And do we want to potentially target lower? That is what I'm seeing on euro. All based on the higher time frame. Do you notice how everything that I'm doing was based off the monthly and weekly right now? I didn't drop into the 15-minute or the 1 hour. I didn't even look at the 4 hour, 1 hour. Everything that I'm doing right now is based on understanding the higher time frame. Once we trade into this weekly level, this discount array, that's when I'll look at the 4 hour and say, all right, that's how I need to gauge if the 4 hour is shifting. The 4 hour shifts bullish, you know that the draw is now higher on the weekly towards that buy side. So then we'd have really nice internal to external. Which is what I do think that we will see potentially. Because I'm bearish on dollar. I think that dollar is going to go lower. So we'll have nice weekly context on dollar to head lower. And then we'll have weekly context on euro to head higher. So I think this looks really nice potentially for next week. How do you define which currency is strong and which is weak? By doing exactly what I just showed you. So I do the exact same analysis on euro. It's the same thing. And then I understand what the state of the order flow is, where they're drawing to, you know, what the current draw on liquidity is. So going into next week, if we shift from that weekly gap and I think that we're drawing higher towards that external, then I would classify euro as bullish. Euro to me would be a strong currency because we're drawing to that weekly buy side. We have that internal to external. How to find order flow? I don't know what you mean, man. Order flow is all the candlesticks. It's all the stuff on the charts. And how we use strong and weak. You want to pair a strong currency. So if euro shifts on the 4 hour next week and is strong from that weekly gap, then you have a strong currency in euro and you want to pair it with a weak currency. Do you agree with me that AUD CHF is going lower? Swiss franc, just sloppy, man. I just don't like this CHF pairs lately. They're just not acting how you want to see. AUD CHF. Yeah, it's looking that way. You wanted to see this internal to external play out here. On this monthly internal to external move, you would have wanted to see this sweep the buy side. This should have taken external by now if it was strong. The failure to do so is very sus. To me, it looks like it's failing to now seek that liquidity up here. You know, we offer fair value here. We wanted to seek this liquidity. Now we're failing to do so. Weekly as well, essentially failing to offer fair value. These daily gaps lower if we create daily gaps pointing in that direction. To me, this looks like it could be seeking this liquidity. So I agree. I think that this is heading lower. But it really depends on the currencies and understanding what CHF is doing. But yeah, based on this order flow right now, I definitely agree that this looks like it wants lower. So you want to gauge what we do from this daily gap. Do we shift bearish from this daily gap? Because we're going to need to do that if we want to seek this liquidity. How to find trend? Just look at the higher time frames. Trends, the swing points. We have a high, we create a low, we create a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, so on and so forth. Bearish order blocks, bearish fair value gaps, premium arrays are being respected by price. So these fair value gaps, these order blocks, notice how price is always respecting them. Premium arrays the entire way through on the monthly, being respected by price. Respected, I mean the bodies close below, the bodies respect them. We can have wicks. The wicks do the damage, the bodies tell the story. So the bodies are telling a story that these premium arrays are being respected by price. Look at the gaps. Respected, respected, respected. Oops. Now we're just consolidating. We created that monthly gap lower, but this monthly order flow is still very bearish. We're failing to head higher off that monthly gap. I think this one's sell side. And do you look daily basis at weekly and monthly time? I always am looking at monthly, weekly, daily, top down. So you can get away with looking at the monthly once a month if you understand that pair. If you're only looking at one pair, like I don't need to look at the monthly on indices to know where they're at on the monthly, just because I've been trading them a lot. So I understand where the monthly's at. So I don't need to look at the monthly a lot on indices. But weekly and daily, I'm looking at constantly. The weekly, daily, and 4 hour, if you're an intraday trader, are your best friends. They are what adds all the probability to your trading. Understanding where they are headed, understanding what they want, is how you will have a high win rate. It's how you will understand what the lower time frames are trying to do. Because everything sub the weekly and monthly, you know, everything is, it's all a hierarchy. The monthly is the strongest. So this monthly trend, whatever the monthly wants to do, the weekly will have to do that and get in line. Whatever the weekly wants to do, the daily will have to do and get in line. So on and so forth. The 4 hour will have to do and get in line. It's like those, I gave this analogy before, but it's like those Russian dolls, like price is fractal. So everything inside of each other. Monthly, within that, what the monthly wants, the weekly will go towards that direction. The daily will shift and go in that direction. The 4 hour needs to shift and go in that direction. So that's how price is fractal. It's how price works together to achieve its goals. So everything that I'm doing is based on the monthly, weekly, and daily, and having an understanding of where they're headed. And then from there, that's when I drop into the 4 hour. That's when I drop into the 1 hour. And I look for these PD arrays in those directions. And once we tag into those PD arrays, and I look for my entry model in the same direction. That's it. That's all it is. I didn't have any coffee today, man. I love coffee. I've been trying to stop drinking it. New video coming very soon, guys. This order flow shifts video will be very helpful. The order flow shifts video is talking about higher time frame PD rays, watching the order flow shift from these PD rays. Whether you want to use market structure shifts, change in state of delivery, ST. It's breaking all that down. I'm getting some follow through lower. I'm not touching this. It's been sloppy. There's nothing for me to do here. But it's nice to see that our draw on liquidity was correct, right? We just got wicked out. Nasty little wick. Took me out right here. And we dropped. Tough. It is what it is. Part of the game. Very solid week. Targeting daily lows on NQ. We already took the daily lows. Unless you're talking about these lows. Like the day's lows, yeah. Previous day low we already swept. I assume you're talking about this low. Pretty much a dud though. Took my loss. Take it to the chin, move on to the next. Dud of a day. Not much to do here. Really been way more focused on indices and just milking these. Consistently taking my soulless trades on indices because I want to go for payout on these prop firms. I have a ton of accounts on a copier right now, a ton of fundeds on a copier, and I want to go for payout. So that's where my that's where my focus has been. So I apologize if I haven't been talking about forex as much. I try to do it when you guys ask in the streams. I try to do it, but in terms of the free Discord, I haven't been posting as much analysis or even focusing on forex as much as I usually do. And it's just because I'm trying to go for payout on these prop firm accounts with futures. So that's where my focus has been. You know, I'm only one person. I'm also trying to, you know, start my premium server, my private Discord and whatnot. I'm trying to build out the entire business, trying to, just do all of this stuff. I'm only one person, so it's been pretty stressful, but it's kind of why I haven't had enough focus or time to focus on forex. I'm trading 8 to 12 every day. I don't want to be a slave to the charts and be looking at charts all day long with the forex. So kind of where I'm at mentally, that's where I'm at, just with my time. And that's also why I want to do the premium Discord, why I do think that it's fair that, I do charge for a Discord in my time. I need to start valuing my time more. I love helping you guys. I love giving stuff away for free. I love doing this. But also, it's like, at what point am I doing myself a disservice? At what point am I actually hurting myself and just not valuing my time, Because I'm only one person. I only have so much time. Nice to see the draw play out. Sloppy, choppy price action got us today. That's all it is. If you can consistently get the draw and liquidity correct, if you can consistently understand where the higher time frames are going, you will be very, very successful. I promise you, if you master that skill set, everything else in between falls in line. And that's the main thing that I teach. That's the main thing that I'm going to teach everyone in the Discord. All the students, understanding consistently where we're going on the higher time frame. If you can do that, you're going to be profitable. That's really what it comes down to. If you can do that consistently, you will be profitable. And then you just have to iron in the little stuff in between. So once you understand where the weekly and daily are going, then you just need to wait for the 4 hour to shift and be in alignment. Trade off of the 4 hour PD arrays in that direction. Once we tag into those PD arrays, you drop into the 15 minute, the 5 minute. You wait for your entries in that direction. I mean, it really is that simple. Trading is not simple. Trading isn't easy, but it can be. It's hard to explain, like trading is not easy, but it can be simple. Just most people don't allow it to be simple, is what I'm trying to say. Draw on liquidity, higher time frame PD array, entry. Obviously, there's a lot more in between. That is where I come in. That's where, as a mentor, I can help shorten your guys' learning curves. That's where I can, guide you. But the foundation of everything that you do should be draw on liquidity from the higher time frames, understanding where they're going, having a higher time frame PD array in that direction, and then waiting for the entry at the higher time frame PD array. That should be the foundation of everything that you do. If it's not, maybe you're trading another strategy. I don't know. But for my ICT guys, that's probably 90% of the people that follow me. That is what you should be doing. That is the foundation of what you should be doing. And if it's not, then you're probably not consistently profitable, which is just me being honest. Did you expect the daily for value gap on NQ to be a breakaway gap? I wasn't even, at the time, I was more focused on ES, watching ES. But essentially what I wanted to see was whether the 4 hour. All right, so I'll explain my thought process here, right? So the way this candle closed, mechanically, this could have been a breakaway gap, and it was signaling a breakaway gap. But if the 4 hour and the 1 hour shifted bullish here, I would have said, all right, we're drawing towards that gap. So just because, it's saying it's likely a breakaway gap does not mean that we can't trade into this. You guys got to understand, this is probabilities. This is just understanding price action. So if the 4 hour at this time had shifted bullish, we traded higher, then I would have said, all right, we're trading towards that gap. So what I was gauging at open this morning and today on ES and NQ was if we head lower from this 1 hour PD array on ES and NQ. So we have these 1 hour gaps, right? If you use discount premium, cool. It's a 1 hour for value gap and premium. What I was waiting to see is if we head lower from there, because if we head lower from there, then yes, I am expecting that gap to be a breakaway gap. So to answer your question, yes, I was expecting that to be a breakaway gap. But had we shifted bullish, had the order flow not followed through lower, then I would have said, all right, we can trade into that gap still. So it's just reacting. It's just understanding what the order flow is telling you. If the 4 hour and 1 hour had shifted bullish and we're heading higher, then we're drawing to that gap, That's it. It's as simple as that. We're drawing to that gap. But because we're falling through lower, because these 1 hour for value gaps, these 1 hour premium arrays are holding, we're not drawing to that gap. We're drawing to sell side. This is a breakaway gap. And so that's all it is. That's all I'm doing every day. Understanding the for value gaps, understanding the liquidity pool. Are we going to retest gaps? Are we going to break away gap? Are we drawing to liquidity? Are we drawing to fair value? That's all it is. Everything that I do is based around, are we offering fair value or are we seeking liquidity? So because the 1 hour and 4 hour are continuing lower, we're still seeking liquidity. We're seeking this previous day low. We're likely seeking this sell side as well. Just really has been sloppy on the 4 hour. But yeah, today we just got chopped up a little bit on that wick. That's all it is. The draw on liquidity is correct. 15-minute gap here. I'm not interested in price, just kind of watching price action. If this wants to head lower and seek this sell side, should do so from here. Four hour. There's no gaps. Notice how we haven't created new gaps on the 4 hour, 1 hour. Just sloppy. The weekly chart. Show your live account. I don't want to leak my thing. I actually just opened it too. I don't want to leak my numbers though. But it's with Trade-of-8. The weekly chart of the Australian dollar futures are about to violate the weekly fair value gap, which will be a good sign that AUD is weakened. Did you meet the people early on in your journey like Sir Pickle, or did you start meeting like-minded people once you were profitable? So I actually I've known Sir Pickle well before I was profitable. I met Sir Pickle through Twitter. Sir Pickle actually had seen my old YouTube videos. I used to do old YouTube videos, but I messaged him first and just said, I saw his stuff on Twitter. I followed him. He followed me back. We started talking and became very close friends. Sir Pickle is such a good dude. Like, he's a great person. I literally would be friends with Pickle if he wasn't a trader, if he wasn't someone that did, trading. Because he's just, I resonate with him. We think very much alike. We agree on a lot of stuff. He's a great person. But yeah, so I think I slid into his DMs first on Twitter. We were both making content. Pickle was actually one of the people that encouraged me to start going harder with social media and Twitter. Because for a while I was on Twitter, following all the people that do trading, ICT, etc. in the community, but I wasn't really making content. Let me go look at our Twitter DMs really quick. I want to see, because we talk more on text and Instagram, so I can probably go back and see what our DMs are about. I remember messaging him and then saying that I liked his content or something. I don't even know. I can't remember. CISD or market structure shift. Whichever one resonates with you more, bro. That's all it is. If you like ST, if you like CISD, if you like market structure shift, whichever one you like better, whichever one you can consistently identify, whichever one that you feel the most confident in is what you should trade. And that is what my whole new video is going to be about. Order flow shifts, how to use them, how to identify them, which ones you should use, which ones resonate with you, understanding what is high probability and what isn't, all that. That's what I'll be talking about, order flow shifts and entries on my next YouTube video. Do live stream every day. So I don't live stream every day on YouTube. I'm going to be live streaming 3 times a week in my Discord. For the students in the Discord, we'll be live streaming 3 times a week. I could possibly even do maybe 4 or 5, but I want to do at least one live stream on YouTube every week. I'll also have the weekly forecast every Sunday. So there'll be 2 minimum. There'll be 2 minimum live streams on my YouTube for free on the YouTube channel. At the bare minimum. Weekly forecast every Sunday, locked in. Will always happen. Daily intraday trading live streams, probably just 1 a week on the YouTube. And then if you want to see me live trading 3 times, maybe 4 times a week, I'll be doing it in the premium Discord once I launch that. But that's really the route that I'm going to be going. I think it's very fair as well. Again, I just have to start valuing my time more, dropping a lot of knowledge in the live trading. A lot of people are taking the same trades as me, etc., etc. So I want to be able to guide the students. I want to be able to guide everyone that's watching me trade. But yeah, so 2 streams a week. So no, I don't live stream every day. Is it gonna be like a subscription or one-time payment? It's gonna be a monthly subscription. Okay, I just checked my DM. I slid in his DMs first. I said, "What's up, bro? We trade the exact same way. I mess with your posts." He said, "Thanks, man. Fire trade, love it." Yeah, and then he just started talking. That was like 2 years ago now. Damn, it's crazy. Time flies. Time flies, man. Enjoy it. Enjoy life. Enjoy the ability to pursue something like trading every single day. Enjoy the time that you spend with the people around you. Enjoy. You know, I'm going on a preach. I'm preaching right now, but it's the truth, man. Time flies. I feel like I'm getting really old. That's why I love health. That's why I love eating clean. I love being active. Mental health, physical health. Just in general, trying to be the best man that I can be. Time flies. You know, your body's going to age. Your body's a temple. You have to treat it well. Say nice. Say nice loves roids. He doesn't love pizza. Just kidding. Huge peptide guy. That's insane. I've never looked into them. I want to look into them a little bit. Revenge trade short on ES plus 2R. Let's go. Yeah, once you created those new gaps, you do it. Just not really interested in taking another. I just injected myself. Bro, that is a crazy thing to say. That's an insane thing to say. How do peptides work? Are peptides made in your body or what? I don't understand all that. I've seen a lot of people talk about peptides. A lot of older like business guys that I follow. Like Gary Brecka, Andrew Huberman, I've seen talk about it as well. We were talking about that the other day. This Colin Yerkison kid, I saw him talk about it. This other guy. I see people talk about them. I just eat a bunch of red meat, bro. I eat a bunch of red meat in Whole Foods. I don't drink soda. I don't eat much processed food at all. You know, maybe 10% of my diet at the most. Everything that I eat is Whole Foods. I love coffee. I think coffee is what messes with my stomach though. Or it's just anxiety. I don't know. I get anxiety for sure. Could just be that causes my stomach issues, but I eat so clean, bro. Frustrating. They're like the building blocks of protein. They're in foods as well. Interesting. I didn't know peptides were in foods. What's your age? You sound 17 or 18. I am 24, so I definitely don't sound my age. 24. I'm a 2000s baby. Fungus may grow in your stomach. I thought it would be like bacteria that I could have. It's called H. pylori. We're just talking about like health stuff now. I thought that's what it was, but I got tested and I don't have that. I don't know if it's low stomach acid. I really think that I just get anxious and then I get stomach issues because of it. I've always been a bit of an anxious person. I eat really clean though. Suarez writes, I don't took any trade after the stop loss. Oh, you take that loss with me? Yeah, there's just nothing right now for me to do. New video coming soon, man. I gotta keep gassing it up. I need you guys tuned into that. It's gonna be really good. Really good video. I'm just waiting for the editor. From where can I see your previous trade setup? I post them in the Discord. In the analysis on the Discord, I post all my trades. I also post them on Twitter. Mainly just been trading ES and NQ lately. I still do the analysis on forex. I still have been looking at it, but just not as much. Again, I only have so much time. And like I was just talking to you guys, venting. I get anxious. I get stressed out. I'm only a human. And so It's been more focused on indices lately, but weekly gap looks like the draw on GBPCHF failed to offer fair value, seek liquidity. Exactly what we just showed. Daily gap lower should get respected because we should seek this liquidity. We should be drawing to this weekly gap. Monthly is sloppy. I don't want to see lower prices on this. I'm going to go ahead and clear out my watch list. Let's look at gold again for fun. Monthly buy side swept. Once we take a major monthly liquidity level, and if we tag into a major premium array or discount array on the monthly, we want to gauge how the lower time frames act. Do we disrespect that and trade through it, or do we respect it and head lower? So what we're seeing here is the daily is shifting bearish. Daily is respecting that monthly buy side. We're pulling back into this area here. There's no weekly gaps here. I think this goes lower. This is a breakaway gap very clearly, right? Look at the candle. Look at the third candle. It's not going to want to retest this right now. Started trading in 2019. I was trading options at the end of 2019. I would say within the last year, started to actually see consistently, profits in the data in my trading within like the last year. So it hasn't been that long. I mean, I've only been trading for 4 years. So it took me about 3 years. Started getting slapped by options. I was trading options on Robinhood, the app. Look at the green Robinhood app. I'm sure you guys have seen it. Trading options, just gambling, buying whatever. Apple calls, no idea of the charts, no idea. I didn't do any technical analysis back at the end of 2019. And then 2020, I was kind of just messing around. I started studying a little bit. I was looking at like penny stocks. I was looking at like Discord groups, going through all that. And then 2021 is when I really locked in. And then I was like, all right, I'm actually going to pursue this. That's where I met my friend Zay Nice in the chat. That's where I found, I think it was 2021. That's when I found supply and demand trading. I started going hard, like really, really hard, studying, showing up to the charts every single day. And then I never stopped from that day. So like 2020, early 2020, late 2019 is like when I first started messing around. 2021 is when I started to like really get serious. Like, I don't know the exact time frames, but something like that. And yeah, the rest is history, man. I just show up to the charts every day. Rinse and repeat. But yeah, that's a little bit of my story. I put a about me tab in the Discord. I talked about myself a little more. If you guys want to read that, there's nothing crazy, but just so you guys can get to know me a little bit more. But can you tell me a best schedule for trading, like how much time before I have to look at charts and how much I have to analyze? It really depends on your schedule. It really depends on what you're doing, where you're from. I can't tell you what is the best time to trade, what is the best asset to trade, because it all comes down to where are you from, when are you sleeping, are you from the United States? If you're from the United States, you're probably asleep during London session, which is 2 to 5 a.m. And you're probably awake during New York, which is right now, 8 to 12. And so it really depends on where you're from, what you're trying to do. Are you trying to be an intraday trader? Are you trying to be a swing trader? When can you be at the charts? All that stuff. So I can't really tell you when to trade. I can't tell you what works, right? I'm not the same person as you. I don't have the same schedule. There's a lot of factors. It really comes down to personally what you can do and where you're at. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap the stream up. I hope that the stream was insightful today. Ending the week up 5R, really solid. Cannot be upset with that, right? It's a really solid week. And yeah, we'll go into the next week with a fresh slate. New video coming very soon. Also going to be announcing the waitlist for my Discord and all the stuff that I've been doing. So really excited for that. Really excited to see you guys in there and create a community of just killers, you know, profitable traders. Happy to help. I love this stuff. Just blessed to be able to pursue this and do this every single day. Blessed that you guys tune in. And yeah, man, appreciate all of you. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and weekly forecast on Sunday. New YouTube video coming very soon on order flow shifts. So tune in for those. Appreciate you guys. Truly. I love you guys. Appreciate all the support. And yeah, man, have a good weekend.